sustainability is not something that is imported to us. Rather than using a brick use karna hai, today people talk about you do some green material and you claim yourself to be sustainable, and then put on an AC. To build a house, I had to do something extreme. Central policies, one for everything, that kind of policy is spoiling the whole. That has increased the health issue among the general public.
It's very interesting to see that an architect and a person with a sustainable vision and a climatologist, he is the chairperson for TiE Hubli.
Yeah. Entrepreneurship is not about technology. We live in 3 Indias right now. 19th century India, 20th century and 21st century India. And it's very important that we bridge that gap.
Hello everyone, just Kiran here, back with Just Talking, and with me today is someone who is featured in the area of sustainability quite a bit. He's TiE President Hubli, Jitendra Nayak. Sustainable living is his funda, is his mantra, and he's a very celebrated architecture. And we'll today talk about what is this sustainability, what is it all about. But usse pehle, I want to just get a feel of your background, like how do you are not born with the idea ki acha chalo, let's save the planet or let's save Earth and get into something sustainable. So let's start with the roots first, your upbringing and...
Absolutely. Frankly speaking, I don't think humans are capable of saving the planet. The planet has to save us. So I think that is a basic that we have to understand, that we are no one who can destroy the planet as such.
Okay.
Only the planet has got the power to reinvent itself. So having said that, I completed my architecture, a formal course from Hubli.
Okay.
Hubli being...
You're born and brought up there?
Oh yeah, I was born in a place in coastal area. We come from the coast,
Okay.
Goa and all that area. So our roots are we are away among the, what would say, very green and lush environment. So that somewhere always will have an effect on your thought process and things like that.
Yes.
So having completed architecture from that place, because we come from the place where everything is still quite sustainable in the sense that people live with nature very seamlessly, even in this 21st century, so to say. So that always had an impact. And after completing architecture, when I decided to have my practice, for the first 10 years, I was doing normal practice, like what everybody was doing. And that is when somewhere I realized that, that's not how it should be, And we really have to go further than adopting technology is one thing, but you can adopt technology and yet be sustainable. So I think that is where it all started.
So how did you get interested in architecture? People when they're born or when they're pursuing studies, by 10th, 11th, they know, acha, this is the career I want to be, or this what suits my personality, my entire train of thought. So how did architecture attract you?
Okay. So to say, my father was a civil engineer and he was always into construction. That definitely had an impact. Though it was not pushed upon me that you should also be an architect or something like that, but I was interested. I think around when I was in school, I had made up my mind that I loved buildings.
Any particular building that you remember?
As I said, no, we have very beautiful vernacular houses, that we call, Most of the houses which are old and in the village, they are very beautiful. So they inspire you. And we used to spend a lot of our time in my grandfather's house, which is in the coastal areas of Ankola, Kumta and all this.
And big verandas, mud house effect, and big windows.
Yeah, having lived in a major city, and when you go back, those spaces make you so comfortable. And I was always fascinated with old buildings, those temples, old temples, and all that. So it was something that I think naturally it came.
So after practicing for 10 years, and that's when you realized, okay, this was which year when I say that sustainable bug hit you?
I actually. I had a very thriving practice, which I closed down, and my son was hardly 3 months old. That is when I closed down the thriving practice.
All right.
And I decided to take 1 year. I had this break and did this management course called Infrastructure Management, which was a very unique course created by a technological university and in Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore.
Okay.
That was for architects and engineers to get into management.
Okay.
Focus. So that 1 year of break, I think changed me completely. So that master's that I did was something that really changed me. Before that, I was always interested in teaching. So I used to teach this subject called climatology. And that is where climatology is nothing but it's a modern word where you design a building based on the kind of climate that you live, right? Wherever that building is going to live, you respect.
There's an imprint, yes.
So that is capitalization. So that I think had an impact.
So, जैसे हम बात करते हैं, India is a very old country, and like we were just having a word, कि sustainability is something that is now the buzzword, the catchphrase, अच्छा, I'm into this sustainable thing. But weren't we always into sustainability for thousands of years? I think Indians never waste a thing.
Absolutely.
We will keep the last shred of the kapda also for dusting.
100%.
And we will recycle bottles and grow money plant in it. Hana? So, weren't we already born with in our DNA?
Yeah. And this is where it's a very good question, because that is what I always have been talking about for the last several years. Sustainability is not something that is imported to us, like we talk about green building and all this. It's just you go back to your roots and you are sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that I truly believe in. And sustainability is not only about architecture or product or tangible. It is a thinking that matters. So I think it is a thinking that is more sustainable, in nature, rather than using a brick use karna. Today people talk about, use some exposed red brick, you do some green material and you claim yourself to be sustainable, and then put on an AC for the whole thing. It doesn't make sense, right? So today the whole thing has become more fashionable. In fact, we were talking recently in Bengaluru. In Bengaluru, you go and say, no, I want to build a greenhouse, sustainable house. Then suddenly people think it's very expensive.
Yes.
Because all these celebrities, actors, actresses, politicians, they build sustainable houses there.
Mm-hmm.
And it is 3 times more expensive than a normal house.
Mm-hmm.
So then the whole magic is lost.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the things. It's like, having a khadi which is so expensive that, khadi has become a trend.
So
it's like...
So you are an architect, but jo management seekha, how did management help you? Does it teach you how to bring down the cost, how to make it more accessible for people of middle class people, low middle class people to build homes which are sustainable in nature or long term? Because somewhere I was reading कि घर बनाना है तो उसको तोड़ना क्यों है? वो at least 50 साल तक structure खड़ा होना चाहिए. Why do you want to buy a house and then break it all over and make it again? It's such a resource consumer. So how एक तो होता है that how do you bring about this awareness and education of sustainability, and how do you bring down the cost? Did that management course help you?
Absolutely. In fact, as I told you, I was staying in the IIM campus, and that really changed the whole perspective of how you look at it, and understanding people, and understanding money, and understanding the whole process. That changed the whole game for me. Architecture is a 5 years course, very intense, but still there are some management lessons which are lost. And that completed me, I would say. And out of, I think, more than 10,000-20,000 architects, one does a master's in management. So I was very unique in that way.
Okay.
Because usually you go on to do something in architecture. But shifting to the MBA, I think that changed the whole game.
That made you entrepreneurial in your thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sustainability, now people are trying to understand, though I think we still have a long way to go.
So हमें कितनी जगह चाहिए? Like you made your house. When did you make your house?
My house I constructed in 2009. I started. It's a very small...
After the course.
Yeah, small part of 50 by 50. It was done in the experimental house itself. Because whatever, I used to talk a lot about
your house.
I talk a lot about all this, and I used to teach, and I had this very small fan following kind of students. And they would always look up to me because I used to talk about it. So when I had to build a house, I had to do something extreme. Because you had to walk the talk, otherwise you would break so many hearts. You talk so much and then you do something normal.
Yes.
So then we went 3 ways. One is it has to be completely recycled. So 80% of the material is recycled. Wood and everything is packaged wood and all we use. Second, you have to use technology which is looked down upon as, something that will not last long.
Okay.
So we use this ferrocement technology, which is a replacement wood.
Okay.
So earlier people used to use wood for the roofing.
Okay.
So we replaced it with ferrocement. It's just 1 inch of concrete.
Okay.
Precast.
Okay.
Right? And third is we have to use all the right technologies. So I have an indoor swimming pool. It has to be good, aspirational. Only then people will believe you.
Yeah, so pehle beauty and then design and then functionality. So you combined all three.
Yes, and we use the complete recycle, reuse and all that kind of concept. So I think the success of that house was, I was challenged by my own peers that, within 2 to 3 years, you will get out of that house. You will break it and build a normal house. It was that kind of a challenge. Today is 13th year. You can still come. I have not even touched it, not even painted as a challenge. Let's see, kya hota hai.
it has become like this organic experiment. So no ACs there, no coolers,
No,
it is
no, it's absolutely
proper ventilation.
because climatology has got so many ways in which you can control.
So climatology is a subject in itself. How to build
All the architects,
structures.
using climate. So all the architects learn. It's about the sun path that goes around the climatic zone in which you are there. It's nothing but how our elders have been constructing for thousands of years.
You know, Bengaluru is facing its own difficulties. Jam ho jate hain. There's waterlogging. The temperatures have gone haywire. The greenery has gone down. Same has happened with Himachal. It experienced catastrophic falls this year. Is this because of the rampant construction, the breaking of nature that we're doing, that how we are just cutting into mountains, cutting into the green spaces and just encroaching upon the natural habitats?
Okay, there is
without understanding the repercussions of it.
So there is something called as planning, and there is something called as contextual planning. If I were to build a road of 10 feet length in Delhi, it is one thing. But the same 10 feet width road in Himachal becomes a big thing, Or the same 10 feet in, say, Dandeli in Karnataka, which is bang inside the Western Ghat. You cannot build that kind of a road there because the forest is too thick and forest needs the canopy. So here you build only 6 feet. This kind of central policies and one for everything, that kind of policy is spoiling the whole thing.
So that's what I'm coming to. Okay, when there are politicians or leaders at the helm of it, they somehow forget the town planner and the landscaper. He's never taken into account while designing a Why? Do you feel frustrated? कि पूछ लो भाई, हमें geologists हैं, scientists बैठे हैं, climatologists हैं, architects हैं, who will give you a planned city, and it will not fall like Chandigarh. Not touch. Anything happens, he's made it according to the sundial, and there's a gradient. So if it rains, the gradient, the water goes down. It's made in that circular motion.
No, that of course that is a very big issue and political issue. But yes, one thing what is frustrating is that everything is done, planning is done, but it is not implemented. You take all the best planners, but then you don't implement. There is a problem. Second, talking about cities, there is one recent study which says that because we are doing smaller and smaller plots and building nearer, that has increased the health issue among the general public.
Yes.
So the health is not because of bad lifestyle that initially you are living. It is because of bad planning, and that is for real. Earlier minimum plot is to be half an acre.
Yes.
Then we came all the way up to like 200.
Very pigeonholed existence.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that has resulted in more problems. Everybody has vitamin D deficiency today.
So the concentration of cemented houses is another issue.
The way our cities are being planned for, especially the residential zone, is a major problem.
So being, it's very interesting to see that an architect and a person with a sustainable vision and a climatologist, he is the chairperson for TiE Hooghly.
Yeah.
So tell us about how did you become the Indus entrepreneur, because it's such a tech zone these days because of Digital India. It's too much of tech boom happening there. So I found it very interesting that an architect is at the helm of
I have absolutely a proper answer to that, and which I have been propagating. Entrepreneurship is not about technology. It is only because startup space has been taken by this tech that people perceive startup as tech. But if you see, every chai wala is an entrepreneur. If you start from there, and it is very important that our country 98% is non-tech, and it's very important that we introduce tech this entrepreneurship mindset in the non-tech, and that is what we have been striving for. I always claim that we live in 3 Indias right now. I come from a smaller town, which is like everybody knows Karnataka as Bangalore.
Yes.
But 400 kilometers from Bangalore is where Karnataka lies, and that is absolutely
different from Bangalore.
Normal. So we have 19th century India, 20th century and 21st century India. And it's very important that we bridge that gap. The TiE is a platform which I am able to do something in which we are able to bridge that gap. At least when people talk to me, they talk to me about non-tech, which is very important.
Very important.
Very important. And we have amazing programs in TiE like TYE, which is for young students. And this year we have been able to touch more than 2,500 students using Kannada as a language. So we are kind of democratizing entrepreneurship. So that is
that's very important. And you are also effecting policy planning for cities. Are you trying to reach out to governments, to the local councillor, to the MC, to the
Yeah.
administration, start small. Let's plant, or like, I think, sorry, I'm cutting you in, like, I don't know if I'm correct, Chennai, I think there was even in Assam that plant a tree. If you're cutting out a plot, then it's essential that you plant a tree.
True.
Here, what's happening is anybody buys a canal or two canal, which is canal is 500 square yards. So they cut the trees and they raise this very boxy structure, which has so many windows on it, that plain glass panels, and I say it's giving an insulation effect. You are consuming more energy than giving out. Yeah. I hate those box structures.
Correct.
So when are we going to learn that? And I think it's some architects only who push that. Ye design hit ho gaya, cut, copy, paste.
Correct.
So when are we going to come out of that mold of the whole demonstration effect, and B, get into the whole planning of it, that cities, that if I have a house, planting a tree is essential in that garden of mine. Or greenery is essential of part of landscaping. And the landscape has to be part of the planning of the concrete structure.
True. There is one policy in Karnataka which has been implemented, that any development project has to replace with equal number of trees. So that people are doing it. Government provides the land and the company has to look after it for next 10 years. That is one thing. Second, we have a very unique concept. When you say whoever is building, it doesn't matter how much money, how much water comes into your house. You are charged for how much water goes out of house. Like, charge the discharge.
Okay.
Is the concept.
Okay.
So if, for example, water conservation, if you want to do, if 10 liters comes into your house, if you're conserving all those 10 liters, your flush water, you're putting in something, rainwater, you're conserving and all that, whatever discharge that is happening, charge that.
Yes.
So that is one concept. Similarly, as you said, whatever sunlight you're receiving, it can be easily,
harnessed,
quantified.
Yes.
And how much you're giving away as a radiation. If that can be charged, then definitely everybody will be aware about it.
Calculate the carbon footprint.
So that is happening, and I think that has to be quantified, and those kind of policies and things will come probably.
So one last question is that when in 2006 you left your job and you said, I'm going to turn into an entrepreneur, this thing is where all entrepreneurs say that, we fail, our families have this look on their face, कि इसका क्या होगा? So what has been your family's support? Because when you said, okay, I'm jumping into this entrepreneurial game.
Luckily, my family has been very cool about whatever decisions I do, because I'm considered someone who's mad, so it doesn't really matter. But then, my wife has been very supportive in that. Okay. And touch wood, we have reinvented and done a lot of things over and over. And every 10 years, I keep doing new things. Presently, we run an organization called Infrastructure One, which is my main parent organization, which is vertically integrated. So we do architecture, interior, and all the normal stuff. And also do a lot of social entrepreneurship. We work with students and community and do all this kind of stuff.
And have you replicated your house? Have people replicated your design?
Replication is very difficult, because people come, and I have a joke, that, if I had ticketed all the people who have come and seen my house in the last 10 years, I would have taken the entire cost back and built another house.
Maybe hota na AC ke bagair kaise rahenge.
Exactly. And no, they appreciate. But then when it comes to that, the whole mindset in our country is, घर तो एक ही बार बनाना है. And वो तो 100 साल रहना है.
Oh, सबसे शानदार होना
चाहिए. तो पता चला, their kids will break it the minute they get their money, because they don't identify with that house. Lifestyle is changing so much. Yet we keep building these very strong buildings and all that. So वो तो है, but still it has inspired, and I'm very glad that a lot of architects have adopted that technology, and a lot of such buildings have happened in the region.
Chalo, well, we'll see some more sustainable architecture coming up north also. And nice talking to you, Jitendra, and all the best in Hubli, and we guess talk more about climate change.
Most welcome to
and teach more children
Absolutely.
about sustainability. Thank you. That's all from Just Talking to today. Thank you.